today to do some hip and lower back um, yoga. We'll do a lot in the chair. I know. I have a lot of information. So these are coming from Yoga for Arthritis, which you don't really need to have arthritis for in order to use, and Yoga as Medicine by Dr. Timothy McCall, who wrote this quite a while ago. Some things have changed, but most of what's been discovered since this is that he was pretty right. You know what I mean? Like he was onto something. So a lot of these are in the chair. I'm not going to go in any particular order because this is my first time doing this, so I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. But these will be some things you can do for lower back and hips whenever you like. And you can do these as a yin practice, where you would hold these for a long time, or you can do them as a flow practice, where you might move from one to the other. So let's begin like we normally would in our seated chair and just work on our posture for a moment, because a lot of this does probably have to do with posture. Soles of the feet firmly on the ground. Nice straight back, dropping shoulders down and back a little bit. So it feels almost like you're puffing out your heart. Might feel a little bit unusual or abnormal, but it's actually more of probably more natural than not. We spend a lot of time in this position, so we need to do a little bit more of this. We'll do our cat-cows in this position, which looks a little bit different. We're going to round forward, all the way forward, just folding ourselves into more like a forward fold, actually. And then we're going to roll up, stacking the vertebrae and pulling the belly muscles in nice and tall all the way up to the sky. Then we'll open the palms forward and outward, squeeze the shoulder blades backward, look up for your cow pose. Rounding once again all the way forward, dropping down, letting the chest rest on the thighs if you like, and then rolling up, stacking the spine, literally tightening the belly, one section at a time till you come to the top, shoulders down, lifting up nice and tall. And then we'll do one more, folding forward completely, let the shoulders round, let the arms drop, and pull it up, nice and easy, stacking the spine. All the way up to the sky, shoulder blades come together, open the heart, drop the head. Nice, and coming on back to center. One of the ones I learned for the knees is our tracking, the tracking of our legs. So what happens sometimes is that things go awry and we start to get into that position, into that habit. So this is just like literally keeping your leg completely straight, and then put a little bit of a bend, pull your toes towards you, put a little bit of a bend in the knee and lift it up just a little bit off the chair. Good job. Bring it on down. So you want to keep it perfectly straight. So the slats in the deck are perfect for this. We're going to make sure it stays in a straight line. We're going to take the other one. We're going to try and keep like the middle toe aligned with a slat in the deck. Pull the toes back, soften in the knee, lift up just a little bit with your, and when you do that, you might notice that you turn out. That's what we want to try to avoid. So we're going to try and keep it in a straight line the whole time. We'll go back to the first leg, all the way up, straight up, little lift, coming back down, bend the knee, come on down, other side, toes straight up to the sky. Notice if you turn out, try and fix that as you come down, or gently just start to correct it. Maybe it doesn't happen all at once. It's easy, but it's a little bit hard on the leg when I lift it up. And we'll do one more each side. So lifting up, going to smoothly stretch and slide on the floor for as long as you can. And then the other side, slide on the floor as far as you can. Good. We'll separate the legs a little. We're going to come to the edge of our chair. And this is a forward fold, which should release a lot of tension in the lower back and the neck. So we're going to come, this is what it's going to look like. Hands will come down towards the ground, sort of like a combo child's pose and forward fold. And start to loosen in the belly and lengthen in the back just a little bit, getting nice and heavy. Open the knees as much as you need to. And just take a gentle few breaths here. On your exhale, feel everything release down towards the earth. Let the head be nice and heavy. And on the inhale, feel the belly expand against the thighs. And exhale, coming back down again, nice and long. So we're thinking about the head being really heavy and the back of the neck being nice and long. So you know the spine is all connected, it's all connected together. And then the lower back just kind of opening up a little bit. Maybe feeling the sacrum sort of widen a little bit, maybe sway side to side just a little bit to get into that, into a softer position. We'll bring our left hand down to the ground. We're going to bring our right arm up to the sky. So just like we would sitting, but a little more pressure on, a little more stress on the back, not stress on the back, a little more focus on the back. Lifting up to the sky and then bring it on down with your exhale. Left arm comes all the way up to lift nice and tall. Reach, reach, reach. Twist the heart open to the side. And come on back down. We'll do that one more time. Let's do it with the breath. Inhaling as you lift that. Exhaling as you bring it down. Inhale, other side. Exhale, release. Nice, we'll come up nice and easy, rounding the back again, letting the neck just hang and relax until you come all the way up to sitting. And we'll do a little bit of side stretching here. So arms up to the sky. On your exhale, let's come over to the left. With your inhale, come on up. With your exhale, over to your right. Using the core muscles up to the sky. Gentle back bend, open arms. Inhale back to the sky. And exhale, reaching forward once again to your forward fold. Inhale, roll it up nice and easy. Exhale, over to one side. This time we'll bring the hand down and we'll let the arm really pull open. Nice wide stretch, probably wider than you might get on your legs because you're holding onto your chair. So you're getting a little more of a stretch. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, over to the other side. Stay for a breath here. Keep going. A little bit further. Back is straight. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, gentle back bend. Looking upward if that's comfy on your neck. Inhale to the sky. And exhale to your forward fold. All the way down to the ground. Roll it up nice and easy again. Excuse me. And we're going to do our chair twist. So I'm going to have you move to the right. Sit to the right. And hold on to the back of your chair with your left and right hand. And keeping your sit bones pretty much where they are, we're going to pull gently around to the right. We do this by pushing forward with the right hand and pulling in with the left hand. I really like this one. Inhale with your lengthen. Exhale with your twist. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, twist a little more. Inhale one more time. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. And then come back to center nice and easy. Let's come back to the other side, or come to the other side. Doing the same thing, turning to the left. You can do this as many times as you want. We'll just do it where it's today. With our left hand pushing away this time and our right hand pulling. So whatever side you're twisting to, that's the hand that's pushing. And you'll feel a definite twist in the back. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, belly in and twist. One more time, tall and exhale, twist, twist, twist. Nice, and then come on back. Nice and easy, back to center. So that one you can do a couple of times if you like. I'm going to give you, I'm going to take a second here to look for a little bit more. Make sure we're getting everything. Okay. So this one is isometric. So our legs are about hip width distance. We're pushing against the lower legs, and we're resisting with the legs. So we're actually widening the muscles of the sacrum a little. This is supposed to realign the sacroiliac joint and the hips and knees. So that's all sorts of it's all stuff that works together. So we're going to lean forward, just comfortable. It doesn't matter what you do with your upper body. And then begin to push inward with your arms and outward with your legs. So you feel like a real tightening. See what this brings up for you. See if you can notice the sit bones almost separating a little bit. I can also feel my arms working nicely too. So that means you're working on both sides. We'll do for a couple more little seconds here. And then we'll release it. Let it go. Just let it come back to normal. Anything you need to do to release. And then we'll come back again. This reminds me a lot of the one we do for the belly. And then push away again with the legs, inward with the knees. Feet are relatively uninvolved here, so you can relax your toes. Good, and then come on up. Let it relax. We're going to do one more. Shoulder circle, just relax the rest of the body. And then once more coming down and get this finished here. Pull, pull, pull with the arms inward, pushing at the same time with the legs. Nice. And then we'll come on up. Nice work. Yeah. So these are all things you could do as a little series, as many as you want in the morning or the evening, whatever works for you. There was one more. Oh, okay. I haven't looked at this one yet, but it's also the sacroiliac, so it'll probably be good. Sit at the front of the chair. Cross your right leg over your left, putting the knees in a vertical line, stacked. Inhale, lift up your spine. Exhale, put some strength in your lower abdominal muscles to support your core. Oh, and isometrically push your thighs apart. Ooh. This action will firm the sides of your hips, and you may feel a stretch in your outer thighs. Keep breathing. That's in italics. That means it's important. For more intensity, put your right hand on the outside of your right knee, with your left hand outside the left knee, and push in with your hands and out with your legs. Kind of just like we just did. So, right hand, right knee. Left hand, left knee. That's kind of hard to get to, but we'll try it. And so we're going to push in and pull out, or push out with the legs. Ah! Okay, I believe it. I feel it in my glute, in my right glute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Let's let it go. Take a nice little breath. Do any little movements that you need to get ready. Again, drop your shoulders this time. I'm all hunched up. So let's pull again. So pushing in with the hands, pulling away with the knees. Think about your breath. Keep it breathing. Nice. And then bring it back down. I definitely feel that. We're going to do another one. Let's wiggle out the ankles, relax the shoulders. And one more time, pushing inward with the hands, pulling outward with the knees. Imagine the sit bones kind of widening here. Good, and then let it go. Undo. Cross left over right. First one we'll do just without, like we did before. Just want to make sure. Push your thighs apart. So thighs coming this way. Okay.
That's right.
All right, yeah. And left and right. Pushing in and pushing, resisting with the knees. Push away.
Are we doing the opposite?
Yes. But your hand, I did the same thing. Put your left hand on your left knee and your right hand on your right knee underneath. Remember, it was weird. It was, yeah. You got it. No, that's the way we did last time. That's the way we did when the other one was on top. It seems like, I'm not sure I see the difference, but okay. I feel it anyway. Pull away with the knees into the hands, pushing the hands inward towards the midline. And then let it go. Let the shoulders relax. Now I feel like it's hot. Too much for me. These are the guys that were here yesterday, I think, the Red Baron. Okay, once again, pushing in, pulling away with the knees to the outer edges of the room. And then let it go. And we'll do one more time. When you're ready, pushing in, resisting. Think about sit bones opening up a little bit, widening on your chair. Good, and let it go. Nice. While we're here, I think we'll do a little bit of plantar fasciitis recovery or whatever, just in case, just because we're in the right place. So this is the one where you pretend you lift all 10 toes. You can do this one at a time or together. And then you place them down as if you're squeezing up, you're trying to pick up a piece of paper. So they're really, really tight. Then you lift it off the floor, and you release your piece of paper. And we lower down again, and then toes come down. We squeeze the paper again, all the way in. So you want to pick it up for sure. And then we lift up onto the heels a little bit, and we open up the toes and let the paper go. One more time in this direction. So feet down, squeezing toes in, picking up, or pencil, could be picking up a pencil, and then lifting up and letting go. And then down to the ground. We're going to do the opposite now. We're going to lift up onto the heels. Toes are slightly lifted. Squeeze the toes, lower down, and then stretch out. You're letting your pencil go. Lift up with the toes nice and wide. Squeeze the toes in, then lower them down, and release your paper, sliding the toes out away from you. One more time, lifting up, pulling the toes in, bringing them down, and letting them go. Good job. It's just a perfect time to do that there on the chair. So I'm going to look for just a couple more, make sure what I did what I wanted to do today, and then we're going to move up to standing. Slide down an imaginary wall. So I'm going to have you take your hand down towards the foot. As soon as you start to turn or twist, then you're reaching for the floor, and we don't really want that. We really want to be just parallel with our back to an imaginary wall. So if you have a wall handy, you can even do it on the wall. Slide down until you feel like you can't go any further without twisting, and that's your triangle. It has nothing to do with touching the floor. So holding on a little bit, but not pressing like all your life depends on it, on that bottom leg. You don't want to really push too hard. So top arm comes up, and we push that open just a little bit too. And now you might start to think a little bit about your hips. So think about your back hip, your left hip, the one that's pushing away from you. Think about it pushing out just a little bit more. And then think about it pulling in a little bit. Then think about it pushing away a little bit. And then pulling in a little bit. Nice. Now we're going to revolve in the hips. We're going to do this really carefully. We're going to come facing that front leg, that long leg, right leg, as if we're folding over it. And then we're going to start to bend a little bit in that knee. Take your back foot here and turn it so that you're more of an angle rather than parallel to the back end of the mat. And we're coming into pyramid pose. You're going to drop your back all the way over. And your chest is level with the floor, so you're not turned anymore. Now your hips are working in a different way. Soften as much into that knee as you need. Let your head drop. Stay here for another breath. And then roll yourself up. Bend in your front knee. And see if you can come into Warrior One. So Warrior One is a tough one on the hips because you're trying to move your hips in the direction of the tip of your mat. Sometimes it means widening your legs apart a little bit more. And I might be actually a little too wide front to back here. So you may have to move that as well. Now carefully rotate back to your, into Warrior Two. So you're going to keep that little bend in the knee. Nice. And then we're going to straighten back up. This time your right foot becomes your back foot and your left leg becomes your front leg. Toes to the tip of the mat. And we're going to reach out to the sides and start to tip yourself over and drop your bottom arm down towards your leg. You're holding on for a little bit of support, but you're not pushing really hard. That means you're doing it with your core more. And then your arm comes up to the skies. You're not twisting, you're flat, like you're pressed up against the wall. And your arm is pressed up as well, and you're going to push back just a little bit with your arm. Now you're going to sit into that, or push that top hip back a little bit, that right hip. You might come down a little bit more. You're going to just kind of relax the hip. And then you'll start to pull it in a little bit. So you're going to do like you're pulling the mat together with your feet. And then you'll push the mat apart with your feet. Pulling together again, both legs working. That back hip kind of clicks in a little bit more. And then one more time out to the side. And all the way into your full triangle for today. Soften in that front knee. And start to turn around really carefully because you're switching the position of your hips. When we revolve hips, sometimes you do it too fast. So pull the right leg in a little bit this time, the back leg. Turn the toes out to an angle. Bend into your front knee. And relax over that leg into a form of pyramid pose. Nice breath in, nice breath out. Keep the bend in the front knee. Roll yourself up. Turn the hips gently towards the front of the mat as best as you can. If you need to widen the legs, that's fine. Bending the front knee, keeping the back hip coming towards the front hip into your warrior one. Arms come up. Push into your heel here on your back leg. So your foot's not coming up, it's firm into the ground. And it's turned out to an angle towards the tip of the corner of your mat. Nice. Very gently, we're going to start to turn. You can bring hands onto hips to keep them kind of in line with the rest of your body. Straighten your right leg. Bend a little more into your left leg. And you're into your warrior two. Shoulders come down. Hips are straight ahead towards the long end of the mat. Nice, and we'll straighten it all the way up. And with our hands on our hips and our legs nice and wide, we're going to heel toe nice and slow so you really feel the rotation of the body. You can do it one at a time too. So pull heels, pull toes, pull heels, pull toes. Really get that rotation going in the knees. A little bit more for the hips. We're going to do our circles that we normally do on our backs. But we're going to do them today standing so it becomes a little more of a balance. Maybe more of a challenge for me, definitely. But you're letting that leg kind of be heavy, so you're opening up the socket while you're doing it. Normally we're compressing it when we do it on the back. So it's a little bit different, then we can go the other way. You can always hold on to something here too. It's not that important that you balance. And then bring that leg down, give it a little rest. Other leg comes up, nice little circles. Just feeling the hip joint move around, open up, and hopefully move nice and smooth. Other way. And then bring them both down and shift gently left to right. Just a little push left and right. Nice. And then we're going to come up against we're going to have us pull up against this banister here, not banister, the little wall of the deck. Start nice and easy. With our right foot on one of these, wherever. Just gently relaxing there. So we're not quite at a right, well, you're more, I'm going to get where you are, a little more like a right angle. And we'll cross our left leg over. And as we do this, we can push our knee away. It's just like our normal reclined pigeon or pigeon on the back. It's a pretty bird. Hello. He waved. Oh, magical. And then, if I can remember how to do this without looking at the book, we're going to creep our foot up towards further up the wall. And then we're going to creep our foot further down the wall. You're going to try and keep it straight up and down. And as you get closer in, oh, I see, we're not quite close enough. So you can feel how it would change a little as you get lower and lower. Now we're going to scoot up a little bit. We need a little more of a challenge here. So we'll creep up with the right foot again. As you creep up and away from the body, you're going to be opening up the hip And as you come in, or back down, you don't have to creep, you can just slide. I don't know why I said that. Pushing down into the wall with that right foot, and seeing if you can come a little bit closer. Sorry. What I want you to do is feel like it's a real strain when you finally get to one point, so we might have to scoot in a little bit more. And then as you lower the leg, the foot on the wall, you should feel it intensify. So, yeah? Okay, good. All right. So it's a little different than our pigeon where we hold on and pull, because we have our hands free, so we're not tightening up our shoulders and arms and all that. And then give your knee a little push. Make sure that you're not starting to cheat there. And then let it go. If you feel like you want more here, you can go closer. If you feel like you want less, you pull yourself away. It also has to do with where your foot is on the wall. So if you walk it up now, mine still feels really tight because I'm pretty close to that wall for me. And then we can slide it down again. As you come down, it's going to come a little more intense. You can also hold on to this foot that's across here and give it a little pull inward with your arm. Just seeing how that feels. Now I want you to completely relax the left leg. So let everything come back to normal wherever it is with no effort, and just soften that left hip down into the earth. And see if it starts to become a little bit more heavy and a little bit more comfortable and settled. You can gently move your knee side to side, the bottom with the one that's on the wall. And you might feel a different, thank you, a little bit of a different, I was kidding. I'll feel a different stretch as it moves just a little bit in the left. And then get right out of you. The other ones are like put. Let's undo that one. And give this knee a nice hug in. Give it a nice stretch up to the sky. Keep a soft knee. Hold on wherever it's comfortable. Do some rotations. Just want to start to get this leg back to moving again. And then it will come down onto the wall, just like the other one. And we'll cross the right leg over. So we're starting, remember, from the hard part. So you may want to move back because this is your second leg. It hasn't been where the first one has yet. So let's start in a place that's really comfortable. Because you can always get deeper, but you don't want to start too deep and make all the muscles tighten up. So I'm going to push a little bit gently away with that knee. Maybe rock it or keep it still, whatever feels good to you. This is all about you relaxing your own hips, so it's really going to be personal however you do it. And then walk the leg up a little bit, the one on the wall. Notice how that stretch changes, and then we'll pull it down towards the ground, probably get a little bit harder. And be patient because it's not the same as the other hip. Once you're parallel with your shin parallel to the floor, and you think you need a little bit more, you can scoot in another inch or two. It doesn't have to be a lot. And you don't have to if you feel like this is enough on this side. So remember, each side is different. Maybe you've tried taking your foot and pulling in just a little bit, intensifying that stretch. And then gently pushing that knee away. As you bring the foot down a little bit more, it's going to intensify it more. So see what you can soften here. When you're at your peak of the tightness, you really want to soften into it. If it's unbearable and you can't breathe, then you're too far and you need to back out a little bit. So soften in that right leg completely. Just let it go. And feel the belly muscles relax at the same time. So you're not really working on anything right now too much. It's just sort of you're put into a stretching position. You can gently start to rock side to side. Just see how that moves for you, how that moves the stretch. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody according to how close you are to the wall, the angle that your leg is at. think that was all we did on this one, is it? Okay. Then we're going to unwind and give it a little stretch. So maybe rotating the foot in one direction and then the other. Good. And then placing the feet down onto the wall one more time. Again, we're sort of parallel to the floor with our shins. We're going to push in very gently and just lift up the hips. So we're not doing a full bridge. We're just lifting up to the middle of the back, tucking the pelvis, and really getting the feel for that tucked pelvis. So this is right now opening up the lower back as much as you possibly can in any position that I know of. And then lowering it down nice and easy. Take a full breath when you come down. Take your time. Make it feel like you're really exaggerating it by taking a long time to come down. And then if that little arch in your back comes back, that's fine. Press down again into the middle of the back. So belly button is pinned to the floor. You're just going to lift up a little bit, pulling the pelvis up, tucking the pelvis a little bit, rounding that lower back as much as possible. Belly is pulled in a bit. And then we'll lower again, nice and easy down. And then let the legs relax, let the body soften. Bring the knees in for a nice little hug. And then to relax our back at the very end, we're going to use a chair for a support. You can stay right there. I'm going to get your chair. You're going to move back just a little bit. And we'll do legs on the chair or legs on the furniture, whatever you want to call it. You can pull way back, and I'm just going to place it down for you on the left and right of your mat. There you go, perfect. So this allows your body to come into a really natural formation. And different pieces of furniture in your house will be slightly different heights. You can find the one that works for you. When you get into this, you want to curl up next to the chair, whatever it is you're coming up to, and then roll so that you don't have a whole lot of scooting to do. And this is where we're going to take our Shavasana today. So just let your knees open out if that's how they feel natural. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then lie back down on them so you have a little open heart. Palms can be face up to the sky if that feels good, and your neck is straight in line with your body. Everything is in alignment right now. No effort happening, no working. Everything softening down into the ground. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to go a little bit into the root chakra, which is exactly the area we've been working with, the low back and the hips. This is in yoga and Ayurveda, this is the root chakra, this first in the line of our energy points all the way up to the top of the head. So it's the rudimentary one, it's basic. It's our feeling for the need for safety, security, a roof over our heads, food and water. The very basic of needs. When these needs aren't met, when we feel in a frightened or unsafe place, all the rest of the alignment can't work. Just like when our brain is stuck in that reptilian fear or need for safety, our more intelligent brain can't act because it's literally disconnected. It's unable to communicate. So thinking about what we need, thinking about our root chakra, you can picture it as a beautiful red glowing light at the base of your spine. And then as it starts to grow, maybe you picture that red light emanating out to the toes and the core of the body, down the arms to the fingertips, up to the head. It's filled with a nice bright glowing red or a very soft red, whatever you picture it as. And our mantra or our affirmation for this could be, I am safe. or I am where I need to be, I am in the right place, or I belong. And doing this on the ground is nice because you can really feel the connection with the earth, which is our literal grounding. See if we can slow down our exhale just a little bit. So we inhale, we feel and expand the body. On that exhale, see if you can pull the belly in very softly, just as though you're just emptying out, and then take that extra second of stillness before you breathe in again. You don't want it to be abnormal, you want it to be natural. You're just guiding, you're just making a suggestion to your breath that we make it a little bit longer on the exhale. This is the calming mechanism that we can control, which actually sends a signal to our nervous system that we are safe. So even though I'm going to turn off the camera, remember you can always stay in your Shavasana as long as your day allows, or as long as you want. So there's no need to get up here. The tape will end. The video will end. On its own. We'll do Namaste right here. Bring your hands into your heart. Remember, you can do this in any position you want. You're closing. It's your closing. So if you can stay for a little while longer and work on that extension of the spine, that's great. Or thinking about that red light, that mudra of the base of the spine, or safety mudra. That's great. If you have to move on, then we'll just move on from here. So the light in me sees and honors and bows to the amazing and beautiful light in you. Namaste.